is this? Hello, Guy Doom. I'm doing fine. Right about to start. Just let me finish this sketch, which explains what our what am I going to do today. Well, okay, let's begin. So today, hello everyone. Hello, Guy Doom again. Hello, Alex. Okay, what am I going to create today? As usual, I'm going to create a simple puzzle game. Hi, Mark. Simple puzzle game where I have to open this door. Open this door and leave some kind of room. To do that, I've got an idea that I have to take this torch, which initially doesn't have fire. It isn't fired up initially. So I take this torch, fire it up using this bonfire, then I put the fire on the door, door burns out, and we can leave the room. That's the idea. Maybe it's not a very constructive one, but this is what I came up with today. So okay, let's begin this. Fortunately, I already have some sprites that will help us to create this game. I create them today, so just to save us some time. Okay, I select them all and drag and drop them into my project folder. Okay, and let's begin. Sprites are ready, and let's fulfill our scene with game objects. First, I take doorway and put it into my scene. Okay, doorway. It's just a doorway. Next game object is an arrow that will appear when we burn out our door, and we will be able to click that green arrow tile, this green arrow, and proceed to the next level if we have one. This green arrow will gonna have a collider to detect mouse clicks. Let it be box collider. Okay, now it will be able to detect mouse clicks. Next game object is a door. I take door and put it into my scene as well, and position it right here. It is limited. I don't understand what do you mean? Awesome studio. Okay, door. We have a door. let's notice that doorway has order in layer by default set to 0. The other game objects also have this option set to 0 initially. This order in layer option just shows us in what order one sprite placed depending on the other. So at the beginning, order in layer of doorway 0, arrow will be placed in front of the doorway, so let's set it to 1, and door will be placed in front of the arrow, so I set this order in layer option for door to 2. So now we have doorway, we have door, behind the door we have an arrow, and behind that arrow we have a doorway. Good night, good night, good night, Francis. Okay, door will have a collider as well, because we're going to detect collisions between door and a torch lately. So I add a box collider to my door and maybe make it a bit smaller like that. Okay, next, very interesting game object, we will create a fire, and this fire will be animated. It won't be just static picture. So here I have a fire sprite which contains 3 different images of fire, and I need to split them to 3 different sprites to use it as animation. So I select this sprite, go to sprite mode and change it from single to multiple and hit apply. After that I go to sprite editor. Here it is. Now I have to slice this sprites. I go to slice, and I think automatic will slice not correctly, and I will select grid by cell count. So here I need to set number of columns and number of rows. As I see, we have here 1 row and 3 columns, so I set 3 columns and 1 row and hit slice. Now this whole sprite is sliced to 3 different sprites. I edit this frames a bit so they don't overlap, and edit it a bit here. Well, looks fine, and hit apply. Now, as we can see, we have 3 different images of fire. So, as planned, let's create a fire that will burn out our door. I take 1 sprite and put it to the hierarchy and rename it as door fire. As you can see, we can see it because order in layer for that door fire is set to 0, and as we remember, that value for door equals to 3. So I just set it to 2, not 3. 2, yes. So I just set this order in layer option for door fire to 3, and here is our fire that will burn out our door later. I think I should make it a bit bigger. Let's say scale it by 4. Yeah, nice. And positioned about here. Now let's create animation for this game object. Select door fire and go to animation window. Animation window, here it is, animation, and lock it I'll dock it here. Okay, Bonfire is selected. What happened to cooking? I don't know. I cook, but I instantly eat it, so I have nothing to shoot. So after that I decided to go back to Unity, if you don't mind, Mr. Scar. Okay, let's create animation for Bonfire. Bonfire selected, animation selected, hit create. And I name it door fire animation. Bonfire animation, yes. And what I do next is select all of 3 sprites of fire and put them into this animation timeline. Now, if I hit play, we will see animation. Yeah, we see. But I guess it's a little too fast, so where is this? Oh no, where is it? Where is this? Here must be sample counts for animation. Now it's not here. So where is it? To slow down this animation, I have to change the sample rate. But I don't see it here for some reason. Where it is? Where is it? Hello, Darren. Where is it? I had this problem before. So how did I solve it? I know Google will help me. No sample rate in animation window Unity. Can't find animation sample value in UI. I think this is what I need. Just found it myself. There is an option to hide this in the GUI. Show sample rate. Yeah, where? So how? Yeah, there we go. There it is. Okay, I found it. Great. Google, you really rules. Your videos helped me a lot, especially with the Android part. You're welcome. Thanks for watching. And thanks for coming. This guy got me into programming. Thanks. You're very, very welcome. I just really want to help somebody when they are beginners. Okay, what I do now is slow down this animation a bit, let it, so this samples. If I set lower number, it should slow down this animation. 10. Okay, 10, pretty fine for me. Okay, this animation is done. So, for example, if I hit play now, we will see this beautiful animation. And we can watch it forever, I guess. Do you have instructions for making 3D games? I don't really like 3D. That third dimension is making me confused a bit. So 2D is perfect. Okay, I have to stop that. Okay, Bonfire animation is done. Oh no, the door is burning. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. Bonfire is ready. The next step is to create a torch. No, a bonfire, which will help us to burn Doran eventually. Okay, I take another one fire sprite and rename it as Bonfire. Bonfire, yes. As you can see, it is behind the other sprites. Hey, how are you? Pretty fine, thank you. Wonderful live streaming, learning a lot. Yeah, I'm learning with you as well. Okay, Bonfire. So it is behind everything, and I think if I set this order layer to 5, I can bring it. Yes, here it is. It's a bit too small, I think. Let's make it a bit bigger. 3 is okay. For how long you have been into programming? I'm not actually into programming. I'd say it's a hobby, but from my childhood actually. But I never was professional programmer, and I guess I will never be. I just like this simple stuff. Okay. Close the door, I mean. Okay. Bonfire. We will have animation for this as well, so select Bonfire, go to animation window and hit create new animation, which is Bonfire animation. And just like I did for Bonfire, I select all of these sprites and put them into the timeline. And of course, this animation also is too fast. So let's reduce this number to say 12. And this fire is burning pretty nice. Okay. Bonfire. Do I need Bonfire to have a collider? I think I don't. Have you published any game? Yes, you can check description to any of my video, and there is a link to one of my game, and if you go there into Play Market, you will find there a couple of them. So check them out. It's not something special, but I have a couple of games published in Google Play Market. Okay, as I said, I don't know, do I need collider for this Bonfire or I don't? Congratulations, Darren. We all learn every time, I'd say. Okay, let's move on. Let's just leave it as it is. And if we will need a collider for this game object, we will add it later. Next is a torch. I take a torch sprite and put it into the hierarchy. And of course we can see it, so I set order layer to say 6, and here it is. Here is our torch. This torch is going to have a box collider because we will be dragging it with the mouse, and we will detect collisions between torch and door. And by the way, As I remember, I forgot to set door collider to be a trigger. Yes, I forgot that. So here is a torch. This torch also needs a rigid body 2D, because to detect collisions between two game objects which have collider attached, one of them should have rigid body. Set it to kinematic, and that's okay for now. Okay, rigid body is attached, and of course this torch also will have a beautiful fire burning at the tip of this torch. For that, we create a child game object which will be named torch tip. Torch tip. And this torch tip, no, wrong, delete it. I take fire sprite, rename it to torch tip, enter, and make it to be a child of a torch. As we can see, we can't see it, so I set order layer to, let it be 10, here it is, and put it right at the tip of the torch. Yeah, that's fine, I think. And of course, we will have animation for this torch tip. So torch tip is selected, go to animation window and hit create new animation, which is what? Torch tip animation, enter. And of course we take all of these sprites and put them into timeline of animation and reduce number of samples to slow it down. Let it be 15. Hit play and see how beautiful it is. Okay, we've done with animations. And now, by the way, we can hit play and enjoy this beautiful view. And while you enjoying this, guys, I go put some more tea in my cup. Be right back. Okay, I'm back and we can continue. Sorry guys, I have to stop this animation. It's so beautiful. No, I have to stop it. We should make C# tutorials. Oh no, there are so many C# tutorials in the internet, so I think not that experienced in C# to create some. I can give you, by the way, some resource which is very cool and useful. It is, maybe you know this guy, Code with Mosh. Yes, this guy has lots of tutorials, including tutorials on C#, great ones. So check this guy out, and I'm sure you will find lots of useful information for you. But we move on. Where are you from? Alex, I'm from Russia. Okay. Torch. Well, all our game objects are ready. And now it's time to create some scripts to control our game. First script will be for the torch. So I create new C# script and name it as torch. Yes, torch, and open it in Visual Studio. Here it is. What are we going to have here in this script? We will see just in a moment. Okay. First of all, we need a reference to our torch tip, because initially our torch is unlit. So we have to turn that torch script off in the beginning. So serialize field attribute will help us to assign that variable in that game object inspector. So private game object torch tip. Okay, bye bye, see you later. Bye bye, Mr. Scar, thanks for being with us. Yes, I am from Russia. You absolutely right. And by the way, this information is in the description, actually. Okay, torch tip. Next variable will be mouse position, which will help us to track mouse pointer and drag our torch. So private vector 2 mouse position, yes. Next two variables will be delta x and delta y, which will help us. I will show you why do we need them a bit later. Private float delta x and delta y. Well, in fact, these two variables will help us to prevent one issue when we start to drag a torch. It will jump this anchor point of this torch, will jump to the mouse pointer position. So to prevent that, we need that delta x and delta y values. So we'll be moving our torch according to that delta position. Okay. And when we light our torch using this bonfire and bring this lit torch to the door will have to get to know that it should be burning. So for that we will be using an event. Static event, and by the way, we should use routine system library to use that. Action, and let's name it set door on fire. Yes. If you are not familiar with this syntax or what events can do and what are they for, you can reference to that site, as I told you before, Code with Mosh, and this guy has excellent, I don't know how to say it more, excellent C# tutorial from beginning to advanced level. So simply say, when we bring this lit torch to the door, this event will fire up and door will be informed that it should be burning. So we'll see it in action later. So that's it with variables. In start method, we take this torch tip, and turn it off. Torch tip, and disable it. False. So let's actually see what happened. What happens? Take this torch and put it to the torch, hit play, and now we will see that nothing happens because we have this error, because I forgot to assign torch tip here. So I take torch tip and bring it to the torch tip slot of torch script. Now it should work fine. Yes, our torch is unlit at the beginning. Next step is to create on trigger enter to the method. On trigger enter the method. This method will be invoked when a collider of our torch hits another collider. So when it happens, we will do some checkings. So if yes, as I said before, I need a collider for Bonfire because I will be detecting collisions with Bonfire. So Bonfire will gonna need, or is gonna need, a collider. Like a B-box collider, and let's make it a bit smaller and put it right about here. Okay. Now, so if name of that game object which we colliding is collisions game object name, if that game object's name equals to Bonfire, so our torch collides with Bonfire, then we set that torch tip to enable state torch tip torch tip set active true, and again we can check it out. Let's hit play. Take our torch. Why we can't take it? What the okay, let's finish the script and then check it out. So believe me, it will gonna work. And if so, we checked if we touched Bonfire. Next step is to check if we touch a door, and at the same time if our torch is lit, is burning. So if torch tip is enabled, is active self, so which means that torch is in an active state, and if object's name which we touch with burning torch is a door, so collision game object name equals to door, then we trigger this event, so we can set this door on fire. Set door on fire. Later we create a door script that will be subscribed to this event, and when this event happens, the door will be noticed that it should be set on fire. We'll see it in action later a bit. Next step is to make it possible to drag our torch with the mouse. So first can I explain static event action delegate? This is event which will be fired when we touch a torch. When our torch will touch a door. We'll see it in action a bit later and explain when we will set all our scripts to complete states. Okay, on mouse. Now we have to make it possible to drag our torch with the mouse. So we invoke on mouse down method, which will be invoked when I click these torches, when I click a torch. So when I click some game object that have a collider, this method is invoked. So when it happens, we need to calculate that delta positions. So delta x equals to camera main screen to world point input mouse position x minus position of our game object, so transform position x, and same for delta y. Just one time. Okay, delta y here and y here. So now we have this offset. Next method will be on mouse drag. on mouse drag, which is invoked when we drag a game object holding left mouse button. You helped me a lot with my projects at college. Thank you so much. Greetings from Colombia. You are very, very welcome. Okay, on mouse drag is invoked when we drag our game object. So here we just set mouse position to our game object position, which is dragging at the moment. So mouse, first we need to calculate the mouse position, of course. So mouse set mouse position equals to mRemain screen to while point input mouse position. Actually, mouse position is calculated, and then we just set transform. We set position of dragged of a game object which is being dragged to that mouse position using that offset that we calculate in on mouse down method. So transform position equals to new vector 2 mouse position x minus delta x, yes, and mouse position mouse position y minus delta y. There we go. Yes, this video will be saved, bro, and you will be able to watch it later anytime you want. Okay, transform position. You know, this script is done, and now we can check it out how it works. So hit play, and I guess we can drag our, yes, we can drag our torch. And as I suppose, if I bring it to the bonfire, yes, we got it. We got it working. Let's maximize on play and watch it again. We take a torch. We can, by the way, why is it, because we don't have door script yet. Okay, I take the torch, bring it to the bonfire, and we got it. Our torch is burning as well. Okay, so far so good. The next step is to create door script. Okay, door script. Right click on project and create new C# script, which I name door, and open it up in Visual Studio. There it is. Okay, this script is a bit simpler than the torch one. Let's see what we have here. Here we have to have a couple of references to, one of them is to arrow, and the second one is to Bonfire. Yes, we have to control those two game objects. So I would serialize filter attribute here and private game object. So with an arrow and what did I say? Arrow and door fire. Indoor fire. So arrow will be disabled and door fire will be disabled initially. So that's why we need the references to those two game objects here. Okay, and that's it with variables. And next code goes to start method. So initially we disable arrow and door fire game object. So arrow set active to false, and same for door fire game object, set active false. And I think we can check it out. Put the script to door game object. There we go. And now all I have to do is to drag and drop arrow game object into this slot and door fire game object right about here. Why start instead of awake? New big question. You can use start or awake. Awake is called before start. There is some cases when you should use awake instead of start, but maybe if you open Unity docs, you will find an answer there more, and at the docs you will find more correct explanation that I can give you. Hello, Win. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Hello, anyway. Okay, what did I do? I wanted to check that out. So hit play, and yes, the door is not burning anymore. And by the way, let's see if they, yes, they are all disabled. Arrow is disabled, door fire is disabled, and torch tip is disabled as well. Okay, next step is to subscribe to that event from this torch script. So door will be able to be noticed that the torch touches the door actually. So how do we do it? To subscribe to that event, we put this line. Hello Errol. Hello Errol. Thank you for coming, and maybe instantiate some game objects like prefab, door, fire when they are needed instead having them in our time. Maybe that's this approach has right to live as well. But I don't have so many game objects here, so I just disable them and enable when I need them. Actually, I only have to disable and enable only 3 of them, so it's okay to do like I do in this particular case, when you have some kind of simple scene where you have only 3 or 5 game objects. Torch. So we torch, and how does set door on fire? Set door on fire plus equal, and now I have to type a method name which will be invoked when this event fires up, but I don't have this method created yet. I will create it just in a moment. So the method that will be invoked is small delay before fire up. Why this method? Because when I touch the door, with this torch, I don't want to door get burning instantly. I want to I want that this door takes some time to get fire, to catch fire. Yeah, because it's a massive door, you can set it on fire instantly. That's why I want this small burn over time. That's why I want this little delay before it catches fire. So, okay, less words, more wings. So let's create this method. Private void. I think I can just copy and paste it right here. Fire it up. And here we just invoke the next method. In 2 seconds or in 1 second, and this method will be called fire up. Fire up in 1 second. So when that event fires up, this method is invoked, which in his turn invokes fire up method in 1 second. And inside this fire up method wait fire up, we set door on fire. What I'm making today, you will see it right in 5 or 10 minutes, because we have another one sponsor, El Carcaru. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that, but I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can you show? Okay. What I'm doing here is a simple puzzle. Yes, why not? Puzzle game. So I want to open, I have to open this door to leave this kind of room. And to open it, I have to take this torch, fire it up using this bonfire, then fire up door burns out, and we can leave this room. That's simple. Okay. Very funny game. Okay, great idea. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, fire up. So in fire up method, what do is we set door fire game object to active state. So door fire set active what? True. Yes, set active true. And also we invoke next method, which will be invoked in about 2 seconds. So door will take about 2 seconds to completely burn out. So we invoke next method, which is called destroy door in 2 seconds. So door will be burning for about 2 seconds, and then it disappears, and we can proceed to the next level if we have one. So private void destroy door. Yes, destroy door. And what we do here is set door fire to inactive state, so we don't need door fire anymore. Door fire set active false. Also we turn on arrow, so arrow set active true. And we destroy these door game objects, so destroy game object, store game object. There we go. And important thing about, we don't need to update method, important thing about events: if some game object or script is subscribed to some event, we have to unsubscribe from this event, because we will get some errors. We may get some errors. Let's say when scene is reloaded, for example. So to avoid that, we have to unsubscribe from any event we subscribe to. To do that, so when this game object is destroyed, onDestroy method is invoked, and we unsubscribe from this event in that method. Same syntax, except that here we put minus instead of plus. Save the script, go to our project, and actually I guess this is it. No, we didn't create arrow script. Arrow script is very simple one, so create new C# script, call it arrow, and open it up in Visual Studio. Hi, I am from Azerbaijan. Я полагаю, ты, наверное, разговариваешь по-русски? Если ты с Азербайджана, то, скорее всего, да. Так что привет, Азербайджан. Okay. Arrow script is pretty simple. The simplest one. Okay. Here we have only one method, which is on mouse down. On mouse down. So when we click this green arrow, we can proceed to the next level. I could put that line of code here, so scene management, load next scene, and so on, but I just... you can put any code in here. I just put a message to the console that we win, or something like that. Just to check that it works. That's it. Proceed to next level. That's it. Put the script to arrow, and I guess this is it. We can hit play and see how it works. I wanna full screen. So okay, bonfire is burning, door is here. Let's check it out. I take torch, fire it up, put it to the door. It's burning. It's burning. Yes. And if I hit this green arrow, yes, we have a message in the console that we proceed to next level. Let's do it again. Take the torch, light it up, light the door up. Voila. We did it, guys. We proceed to next level. We do. Okay. So, I guess this is it. As usual, this project will be available. Oops, what did I? You make so easy and I would need 4 hours. Practice. Practice is all we need. Not gonna lie. Practice just rules as good as Google does. Okay. As I said, this project will be available by the link in the description to this stream. This stream will be available on my channel, I think, in about an hour, because YouTube have to have some time. YouTube has to have some time to process it. So when it's done, this stream is available on my channel, and you can watch it over and over again, or just take these project files and do whatever you want with them. It's absolutely free, it's public domain. This image is made by me, by myself, so use it and do whatever you want with them. So thank you for watching, thanks for coming, see you next time.